For millennia, Indian society revered its rivers as life-giving deities. Today, those same waters often function as toxic open sewers. At the time of independence in 1951, India's population stood at roughly 36 crore. The river systems maintained their natural, pristine flow. Today, the population has expanded to more than 140 crore. This growth has placed immense pressure on the nation's water systems. Indian cities generate 72,000 million liters of sewage daily. National treatment plants process about half. The remaining 36,000 million liters flow untreated into lakes, rivers, and the water table. The widespread pollution of these waterways is the mathematical result of a system operating far beyond its capacity. The Ganga River provides water to over 40 crore people, yet it absorbs more than 3,000 million liters of raw sewage every 24 hours. Industrial runoff adds to the burden. Toxic heavy metals, such as chromium from Kanpur's leather industries, flow constantly through rusty discharge pipes into the current. Further upstream, the Yamuna River presents a striking spatial paradox. This map charts the 1,376-kilometer path of the Yamuna. The segment passing through Delhi represents only 2% of the river's length, but it accounts for 70 to 80% of its total pollution load. A healthy river requires at least 5 milligrams per liter of dissolved oxygen to support aquatic life. In the Yamuna, this level regularly drops to 0. This lack of oxygen, combined with high ammonia and phosphate levels, creates thick chemical foam that coats the water during major festivals. Rapid urbanization transforms these water systems into oxygen-starved biological dead zones. Geologists studying northern India note that ancient river systems, like the Saraswati, dried up over thousands of years due to tectonic shifts and changing climate. Kind human intervention is destroying rivers in a matter of decades, a process that accelerated in Punjab following the Green Revolution. Massive fertilizer and pesticide consumption has turned agricultural runoff into a major pollutant. Toxic concentrations in tributaries like the Buddha Nula now exceed safe human limits. These viscous liquids do not simply wash away. They seep downward through the soil, poisoning the deep underground aquifers that supply drinking water to millions. This groundwater contamination is linked to a rise in local health crises, including the cases that fill Punjab's crowded cancer train. The agricultural progress of previous decades has come at the cost of generational health risks for the local population. In the south, the Godavari Basin faces a different threat: the physical blockage of its natural path. The construction of more than 5,000 large dams and barrages has broken the flow of these river systems, trapping essential sediment and blocking fish migration. Climate change exacerbates this situation, trapping farmers in a cycle of severe seasonal extremes, alternating between acute drought and sudden flooding. To the east, the Kosi River demonstrates the consequences of altered river dynamics. Heavy sediment loads from Nepal constantly elevate the riverbed. This puts immense pressure on man-made embankments, eventually forcing the river to shift its course. These shifting courses displace millions of people every year, leaving them stranded on narrow, vulnerable strips of land. Aggressive engineering that ignores natural sediment flow turns these rivers into unpredictable hazards. This crisis reaches directly into India's modern metropolitan hubs. In Bengaluru, extreme eutrophication and chemical dumping caused Bellandur Lake to literally catch fire. In the north, Srinagar's Dal Lake is shrinking as urban encroachment and floating infrastructure keep pressing in on the water. Unchecked urban sprawl and waste mismanagement are squeezing the life out of these urban water bodies. Broadening the focus from individual rivers reveals a unified national crisis. Current data shows that roughly 70% of India's total surface water is now officially contaminated. This contamination rate is tied to millions of annual cases of waterborne and gastrointestinal diseases. Riverside communities suffer the most, as they often lack the filtration and sanitation options available in wealthier areas. As rivers degrade, entire regions face acute water stress, leaving local populations without a reliable source of clean water. The decline of these waterways is an active public health emergency that affects the country's long-term survival. This damage is not irreversible. Rivers possess a natural capacity to recover if the pressure is removed. During industrial lockdowns, when toxic dumping paused, several major rivers showed rapid and significant improvements in water quality. Mitigation projects like Namami Gange are currently harvesting surface waste and weeds to improve river conditions. However, cleanup technology is only part of the solution. Long-term recovery requires holding industrial polluters and urban planners strictly accountable for waste management. India must decide whether to protect its rivers as ecological heritage or continue to treat them as infinite sewers. The future of the nation depends on the health of its water. What is the status of the river or lake in your local area? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more deep dives into the challenges facing our world.